no dey
intini say bi a driver ni drive without license emrache say o say ye de ni court na court fine no na court eji fine no ekọ oman no eto mu no na say bio police ni agisika na hye no no apam no say o ko ana so say bi a obi akọ court na o say bi a ye hwe na say de mra no esitie no ye de to ye no na bi a obi ehye ni office e wo court no no agisika na say bio wa chamra no
okay
and as you say be electricity for woma around some ka so be illegal connection it say won den be court na court prosecuting what your penalty no na say be woma jisika no maka koye reconnect ya man ni nyina edi oman nya it ka corruption na Transparency International and Ghana Integrity Initiative sa no mo define corruption no
okay
nyina ye ne mo edi oman nya
okay let's just say me sumi say bubu mu feda so obi wo de bia bi obi wo de bra bi na e wo se odi di bra no eye ade a edi mfaso beba ebebra mansan ana nipa dodo ana oman no na odidi sa de bia no de hwe ono nko ane ho
very good
na aman no eni nipa dodo esese nya ho mfaso no momu safa at the expense of the others
very
to
good.
enrich themselves.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
All right. Any lawyer Ninkra anti senior kasa. Anti me koso agina ho ansa.
Kabi bebubu abayen so every day.
Okay.
Every day anti senior de akọ general as in more of government ni wona or what to me ni but even yen njumemu remember typical example which just happened some time ago say me call VIP station the ticket man you know because them say seats ni be a 2 and be a 1
yeah.
But he because say obi atepon no ana obi amani sika say oh mami single yinti ana mami single seat ana bibinti no or de ono no to me na e hye ne nsa no ena otimi di yi single seat mon pap ena oji sika hye meanwhile no obi abeto ni kwan say wo hwehwem obi a so obi ato no 120 cedis but na or ton a particular seat for a particular amount we abuse of every day obi wa be pay adwuma just say bia di obi onim no ena di nanim ba ni nyina e can say e contributed to corruption
okay. All right. For Edeen na Menya program no ena waso eguso no madika ka cho se meni lawyer form yenu ena AD enkomo ene senia etie de odikan lawyer Kwaku Animado ono private legal practitioner with Kwamboafo and associate Nyamiadom Chambers LA ewo Edeen eho ena obo adwuma sanso ena nana yakuna du Ninkra Esquire, and also a barrister and solicitor of the Supreme Court of Ghana, or an entrepreneur, or an author, and then or a women and children's rights advocate. Wemo ana miniomo eshia anasi yenyi na eniomo eshia enyumria yesuya adie. Enti corruption lawyer mame emra oso lawyer nimado yenhye corruption no ni impact on Ghana's development. On my Ghana so my ye anase yempuntuo katase hye no ensunsun so be na ediaba yempuntuo so esunsun so aba yempuntuo so.
Okay, corruption there a very dangerous, a very bad enya de pakra se hwe Ghana mpuntuo a enya de pakra me de make say a poisonous because a my mpuntuo e ka twi bebre.
Okay.
Ebi ni say ebi a or say ye kwan from ebi a square to baby abetimi ache ebi a square to ahojo you know na ya government award the contract in the first place no say government award the contract no na say sika na o sanki aban etua ema contractor no minister say bio minister and say ministries no womo executives and say personal na ho no e womo so e rate eto so a esa na womo no ebeje omo sika no through corruption as your for more personal gain.
Okay.
Na fe contractor no so nto koye adwuma no so na am say bia watua ni watua kickback ama minister no ne womo ekeka ne ho nti no si adwuma no so ankoye no the standard as a quality no so ye no ontumi nya no sa
ontumi nya no sa
nipa a won bekwa inspect kwan so no standards also an komutumi approve no won so ebi a corruption ni to mutumi ntumi nya no sa e kwan no won ye ne ochina na kwan na tutu na asay yes a government and as a Ghana punto no na e catch police ni wachi driver for reckless driving with driving without license offenses near bebre or then be court na be a court obetua fine na ma o mine no na o mine be nya sika aye development no waje no o ti driver ni ko esa no so no o mine nya sika also dey develop your mind schools also you see ni nyina na esa corruption in tino o mine to be nya sika nya sa development na ni na corruption dey e twin punto ko eche bebre offer politics and I say governance for instance procurement agencies near there through corruption in you also more procure woma the right qualification or some the year jumaning in womu nyasa opportunity no na mo bia no mo akwa corrupt government official bi no any to me opportunity and so bia because only the right qualification to me near juman no year jumaning below standard or china no and I in no time in ejuma ye na say
no my
money na safa nti enyoma e impact Ghana development e ma de bia impunto catch no corruption intino e ma impunto catch bebre
okay me gidi so aka mododo na minim say lawyer ni nkrade bi be kai no ho but me pese me bisa say what are some of the most common forms of corrupt practices I wa Ghana corruption nyama e comprise katasehye no ye common pa no ebi ni de hin na adenti na sa nyama eno mum aye common na eta akoso Jitonsio
me maka ka tonsio oh officer jitonsio we dey ketwe bi na waje ubo nso ni license ni roadworthy egu oni insurance ni amaneko social welfare services any other social services adia yesemu protect and cry na say mama and say even the vulnerable party or you involved because the other person knows he can't oh okay je kakra no me bo mani eguso na for me bo asem no etia ubon se na omaje bo ho amami an omaje na ma be ma woni adaje bo onso so a enti sa jito nsio oh mesho ye wia mesho in fact eno ne de ena oh fa me be adwuma wa me ba no nko police
okay
wa me ba no nko fire eno na wo so papa
eno anya lobby
corruption ni bia because on say senior me senior ni mado define corruption see using your office
okay
and I say using your power baby a udibre udibre ye adia na udidi udibre ho abra ye twa aka for it it say my baba lobby say we need me to offer me ba definitely that's corruption because you didn't employ me on my merit
okay
and all kind of qualification people are qualified for things and so they will not be employed or be given contract on those bases then they'll be given contract based on your friend on the partisan minimum
okay
nan the contract na ma say minim say menya dia duty e bo ho kwa no ni pa na koseti up company the oma contract na ni koseti up company for na wa shada di obi din asoso very 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 common these are very common things that you free say be normal and so they are biggest challenges in corruption.
I think wenum binum has to do with people with positions in society and in governance. Let's come down to the very the basis, the grassroots. A form pa on your assemblyman, on your MP, on Najumabiano, as a or Naj Abayajumabiano, and I think so. And you know, it's you, and you know, yeah, idea. But me as a Ghana near ordinary person or go about no any business. If you are no crowd, you are no one juma. Even so, Abuja Juma no way. If you are small scale and I said business an ordinary, Ghanaian. What are some practices yet commonly knowing or unknowingly constitute corruption? What's your main?
For example, shortage, as baby shortage. Maybe I want to say, yeah, you feel barber shortage. What to say, something that is in high demand,
Okay.
barber shortage.
Okay.
Oh, and this is something that in demand into you could sell. You will intentionally keep it. What should that idea see? Not what should that the highest bidder? Your market see. Your bet check is no that is corruption. Because you are not being honest. You are using what you have. Who did you unnecessarily say? You are making excessive gain and unreasonable profit where you are not supposed to.
Okay.
And we overlooking your free say your business. But this is corruption. And so most of these Arab countries say, for example, there's a price seal on the maybe a better. You can't probably sell in a few more than maybe $1 now visa. And so it's either you sell it less than $1 and but that is not the same as I say. If the person will unnecessarily inflate the price for gain. Me here baby. Meaning say senior anima do work. Now to swim maybe 1 city.
Okay.
Yes, I understand the profit aspect.
Difference of 4 Ghana cedis.
Oh, 4 Ghana cedis. What is more corrupt? It's just like this.
Okay.
But you see, they are normalizing like, and yes, they are trying to say you put some label on it, making it look profitable. This is how it starts. Because you're dishonest.
Okay.
You are dishonest of what you are doing. And that's how you do a pussy are not at a koshua.
Na afro akoso lawyer nyame enhira pa na eti corruption no hwe kwan fa so e ba no emu niama no edoso e kire sampa edoso pa institutions like media and civil society e be dey na ye hold you accountable for corruption in Ghana lawyer ni ma
Okay.
Central for the media ni na put together and then societies no yeah
Right.
civil societies.
So Ghana hano me ya kwese is through and asemka because if you say there you can reporting in patron and say you exposing patron but your master a bit me a boy okay into media for instance say be may per slot on a program be na map publicize and I say ma can send to the larger group. I don't need to go and pay anybody money aside what the institution has acknowledged say this is the rate for this period.
Okay.
So if for instance if you program very it's a commercialized. Okay, into their institutions and I say advert was so big advert slots was so big. So me person me babe year advert so I don't need to go and pay extra money so that somebody's slot will be given to me.
Okay.
And no, if I do that, I am corrupting the media. Okay. Sometimes civil society, politicians span the tires again. Civil society, for influence civil society to promote them and to promote their agenda. Okay, maybe a civil society is highly reputable, and I say it's a highly esteemed civil society. Politicians can influence them to promote their agenda, to give them good news. Okay, very wrong. Corruption. When we recognize that, I will say, to my phone, it to me, bring it out. Say there are media group and I say civil society group, and this is what they are doing, and then let the whole world get to know about it. If the whole world get to know about it, and give that media group and I civil society let's say that I just will sit up, okay, and then say this particular thing is wrong. This media group is acting wrongly and is being corrupted. This civil society is being corrupted, and then they because of being not paid money. And if the media group and other society gets to know that's what is going on, I think they'll also sit up. The baby and it's your mind, don't say my unique corruption. Now you can't want to say the bay out my
lawyer Ninkra, share lawyer Nimado Aka one side of it. Because you share the other side. Because these media and civil societies are supposed to be watchdogs, watch over the political leaders and people in positions. kwan bɛn so na wɔn bɛtumi holding them accountable for corruption sɛbi a meyɛ nsɛntwerɛni as the media as civil society ɛbɛyɛ dɛ na yɛntumi abue yɛn ani ɛde adi leaders anaasɛ akannifoɔ akyi ɛwɔ corruption ho anaasɛ kɔyɛ ho.
I don't know the media journalism to to keep an old cannabis that said lawyers may doctors may identity.
Oh, there is school behind on matriculation here, matriculation oath. That's all by Jumana and Casadia. Oath is MBN. But the only thing is the ethics of the profession.
You see, we can. You bet me has suggested 1,000 ways to go about it, but it starts with an individual.
Okay.
It starts with you. And the Bible always said, and he purposed in his heart not to eat, and Daniel purposed in his heart. Daniel and his friends purposed in their heart not to eat the king's food. Or what? Have you purposed in your heart that no matter what it is, you will not be yourself say obey your kind of compromise. Say Manasa Zure, Anasa Rinia, Makakoya investigation about. And I saw the young cassette, a Gen Z for the Philip Yaba before now.
Okay.
Are you bold enough to become water? And I said, some penny for a banner some more of our position, yeah. Can you say no? You know, starts to eat a bit me out of all these solutions. And one of the things about social media nowadays, one of the good things about social media, and they will drag you on social media. No, it has this bad side. It has a bad side of never people who are they are not social media worthy.
Okay.
Now what they are but the good side is if the people are going to drag or hold these people or more corruption, you better drag you out. And we have a unified voice in all these things.
Okay.
It's about Obi Yadenoka. Hey, now me Toby Bear recording me the quarter Twitter, will be recording me the quarter, maybe Facebook will be recorded, nothing for you dragging me. How would it be? The person is afraid to be in position.
Okay.
So to me, I think that that part of social media has been helpful. People dragging and or my committee corruption and corrupt practices.
That leads me to my next question. That's all the link enough if you about lawyer any matter. The role of the Ghanaian, the role of the individual, an ordinary Ghanaian. Maybe role the same. Then I make me in fighting corruption in the country to ensure transparency. A bit my prevailing. Me a Ghanaian, many position be an ordinary person. Send it here. Me sorry for Anuma. But so I become a part of the ordinary Ghanaian. Me role is saying, what role can I play in fighting? Maybe
the first thing I ever mind is winning what you are entitled to. You know, I don't have to pay to get what I'm entitled to.
Okay.
If I'm entitled to social services, if I'm entitled to legal aid, I can't afford a lawyer, but I'm entitled to legal aid. I don't need to go and pay somebody to help me get a legal aid lawyer, for example.
Okay.
So once you know that these are things that, as a citizen of Ghana, you are these are services you are entitled to, you will not have to pay.
Okay.
You will not have to pay. I know that we have built a system in such a way, say you pay beyond a man. Then but you have to pay to be able to expedite all. And that is very because these people are sitting in government agencies. Some of them are not they can almost all day. That is the truth. And and they are taking huge amounts of money. Ordinary Ghanaian has over 2 hours will not be even for 24 hours will not be able to afford that same amount, and even for a week or even for a month. Then I have to still pay you for something you are meant to do. We a social welfare officer, just an example. Sorry, not to a you have to come and do inspection. I don't need to pay you to come to my house. Then you report accurately. And once we decide that okay, this is my right, this is something I'm entitled to, I don't see why I should pay. I think it starts from there. It put them on their toes. And that's the difficult part. and they are not getting anything, they can't come and ask. They can't drag their feet when they are supposed to do what they are supposed to do.
What they're supposed to do. Lawyer Eninkra and what's it then can on now. My call lawyer Animado or Animado, the patch or Yan Twasso, our Honmana. Yes, Shania, ordinary Ghanaian, no Ghana Nia, or also only position here, Timmy or your man back as a mind battle. Rule is a fine band of a person, so that contribute to say, you two catastrophes. They am fire and to your candy for the person.
Okay, as Ghanaians, or say to me, you can grow. And you know, now the kakra you so say you bob more than you yin na bisa. Okay, because with Sabio Nipan baby or maybe I not would name to say anything or say, but unima bisa, bisa. Into unya who bisa, ye betcha. That is one. Into unima bisa. Nina education you be now with kakra. And not two. So what suspect is say be a corrupt. As much as possible, evidence can be a bit me gather. No, I gather evidence. Okay. And a three, and yet, Sikabia will be to ya, Yama receipt that will in Tia because Utia Nasiama receipt, and I can say you are corrupting somebody. Okay. I gave a quiet name or fan and say, if you are Obeko, a buying Australia and I'm buying office, if you are able to make it, and today be a Otusu daily. What I say? If I know you're boosting me, and so there be a becona, a beer, so you're a big nine, so to or a daily enna. Hey, you want to know we a salary director be a boosting me to our canteen, no, such as now, or to me daily. Oh, you're free here. Okay. Oh, say, yet to mind for be a mini position, be a menu, be a one yap to grow. Okay. 2 Unima Bisa. 3. Put your cabinet and my receipt in Chia, move on to Baconi Boston, for Chen, so be as cabin to a Menya who receipt. Menya who receipt, the enemy, some into just as a woman receipt. Who are Kukura, you can move on. One Yaku could do not, yes, I didn't get the Biabocasa. 1 year careful, so I obey Bocantus, and now take Quine of us, I had the name of Papa, who young Patona would. Until 1 year in my phone, Yenyaku could do 2 Yenima Yembisa. Yama be bro honuma, you can walk to a private lawyer, none in a could be home. A betcher, when you be a lawyer better idea from it. But who could pay education? If you are a lawyer, better me saying, better me saying, one being a me for a betcher, you say, if you are not a lawyer, or me crack, I say, for instance, if a legal aid service, legal aid for a fine if you are lawyers. Okay. If you don't go there and go and pay legal fees over there, so court not say you are required to pay legal fee, you have to start. Be salary and question now, so I'll move on to the boss. Yakudo and move ahead. We now you find somebody who is ready to help you, who is obey the correct thing. There is somebody there out of so many. There is somebody there who will be on. I don't meet that person, and the person is going to
there is this notion, say, Adiano, if you see something, say something. Who be there, can be only more bizarre. Be a responsible citizen and not just an observer. But there's this perception, Sadiano, who are okay, and why now okay, Obikra Husika, na yes, so Sika our fan or family. The right place to send the money is the police station. Say, hey, let's go police station. As I bet our country, only GDSS cannot the police station. Ever finding the right. It will be treated rightly. When you say, "Yeah, we could do what is here on the chapa," who say, "At the end of when you say, yeah, but or reporter, and no, so demoralize it, Nipa, Ama, Nipa, do one eye behind a war, Yama, and Yama. Quite better, so attacker that kind of belief.
See, make us and make us say we should then be an seeking for education. Seeking for education. There is always somebody out of so many people or only they said you mean to be okay, Until baby answer be by as much as possible look out for such people. Maybe I be by but look out for such people. Okay. Until to me who will be out who say Nipa with they meet me at trusting and not meet me at Kamasin and be at trainer. Obit me to one more. You know, the time just in case the visa is here, you can, go to that person for help. Police are somehow okay. Police from more as well. there is a particular body within the police sector called the PIPs, and they're professionals, exactly, very good, and Lord complained about misconduct. BBI being public police ground. It's always trusty police for you now. You go to that office, you can trust them to deliver the best of services for you. It is through education you can know about this group or this body within the police service. BBI I'm between one and one ground.
Right.
To add to the
learning.
Every situation, any infringement, about me notice that maybe they have acted faster. Yes.
Sir, police in
Pips,
Krabatana in front of Pips.
PIPPS.
Okay.
They have always delivered.
Who said assembly misconduct?
With respect to police services.
Yes.
Yes.
About our report to the amount of
every time. I didn't need to know anybody there.
Okay.
All I needed to do was write to them. All I needed to write to them, and they have always been like. I don't even know any one person. Like I said, but every time that I have written a letter to them, lodged a complaint with them, they had made sure that they had settled things the way things are supposed to be done.
Okay. Madam Sepa, I come last question. I may be some nothing. My bahuman's native for Abem Kakra. Na adiba kwa mi huni say sometimes no your program here yet is segment here from Edeen na Menya. What should I do? Don't you think say sometimes you who are the but you need what step to take? Me who sadi we enye. Mako VIP station. VIP will be brand. I'm not targeting them, but I'm gonna run a transport eco long journey. Mako VIP station. Mako STC State Transport Corporation station. Mako any other station. Me kwako faka. Me who say corrupt practice. Koso ewo. Ebi eya mandia. Ebi ye ankwan credit. In that space, no. To that, nipa no who say dey koso enye. But when he doesn't know what to do, where to go, and what actions to take. Two things: a public education concerning corruption fight, and what can we do to raise it?
You said it right. Public education on fighting corruption or form yepa. People say institutions need to say SHRAJ, Commission on Human Rights and Restorative Justice, National Commission on Civic Education. They should set up and then educate the public adequately and very well on fighting corruption.
Okay.
Civil society also role also play, media also role also play. And I said you one more education across the country. Role also play on educating the public on fighting corruption. We say corruption, we say corruption. You say Menya, you say Menya. And then I keep saying, Ghanaians, we should be bold and courageous enough. Be bold and courageous enough. Now, make a report, but move on and let the head of the institution know. The head of the institution now, get somebody you trust. The person will take it up and help you. So, the Mrs. Lawyer, bodies like PIPs, say they are very trustworthy. If you take it there, not a new movement, and you I said, you cross on Moya, or more bet show they also will Yanuma Boa Mawai.
Kakrabeka and lawyer Nimato and what's in kind of private legal practitioner or no a practice with Boafo and associates. Boafo and associate Yamia Atom Chambers with Doom Sanso and any lawyer Nanaya connect to an incra. And so a barrister and a solicitor of Supreme Court of Ghana, entrepreneur and author, women and children's rights advocates. Wamona, Niwamo AD Ejuma Senate. Now, let's move on to this last question. Now, so let's look at how to resist corruption. Resist corruption. Because I didn't be on see, now say about to obey. Anytime you ever talk about it. Yes, so a TNT, TNT. Adiano, and yet, now you pay dear to so you're rebranding. Because me, I call it bribery rebranded. Because I believe that Obeka so will be out there do my okay. I mean, if I should go and vote, say me to my power, I don't think say MP na me koto abama no, or you obliged. Say also chia me lorry for me and sana ma koto aba. Enti these things yet, yeah, near friend oh. Said okay, lawyer in crowd can say Jikoto nsuo mu a. Jikoto nsuo. Yes. Enti as oh TNT. Ade no so no FIFA, Federation of International Football Association. Omo hwe world football so. Omo ni nti omo say enyi akyede. Menyi akyede. Enti Ghana FA president ontimi nkoche Cameroon FA president ade. Ghana government entimi nkoche omo ade because say Ghana FA ekoche Cameroonian FA ade. Na yeko African Cup of Nations. Na Ghana any Cameroon ekokushia. Nipa wache na ade pay no. I mean manipulation you know you can through the gift and the FIFA ni ntia o say enkoje akyede ento bi aso ade e wo football. Enti there so a lot of fair a way what's me producer justice what it learning pressure what my first be resisting yep ade no ye dey ba but obetimi say no. Let me put it in a simple way. How will you be able to say no to resist it?
You're seeing two or none of you are putting the say, and then for what the year man for what you know, Miss Tiny idea. You have a moment who said, you're a piece of one pan, I say you're a one pan. Maybe it starts with you, and I'm a client, it starts with you.
Okay.
Remember my name, Brady. I nip like, maybe I'm cousin when you Brady, I day for 7 If we are when in Brady, I don't know your child. I don't know, dear, or Quaco, you don't feel, you TNT, or TNT. I was said, where I said, yes, said, citizen of Ghana, Ukoboti, it's I don't know, so be TNT, now I come out. It is first with you, one cause first with the mind. Okay. Say you will not be greedy. Frisica, in Grisica, Bibia Opedo, Bibo. I assign a man, a kitchen, Emma, a cottage near mine, you can see it. Near TNT, intermediate, it will always start. You need to work on yourself. Renewal of the mind. This is where renewal of the mind starts.
I can move for you.
Move for you, so they are right and say, yes, I mean, you didn't pray.
Yo, what advice no Timami Kwaje, lawyer Nimu so advice na Femimra Homano so yes, Menya, Memfa Cos Caribbean and news no Abba. Anti lawyer, your advice to public officials, citizens of Ghana on how to resist corruption so that you will build a more accountable country.
Alright, so say them a colleague lawyer in Krakai. Nukredi, what's it to me din Nukre mine? Then you know I want my money. I just will be quite sorry. Will be called mosque and also be called temple and also be a visa. Nina book be a Bible, Quran, cross, whatever. It preaches against corruption. They make sure that the books can be juma. And not true. So Mra Yashisha, they fight the corruption. Your mind knows when you're juma. Because your mind running here juma and Rana and Nipanakata resist the corruption because of Emran. One. Our religious and as a religion, your money near Juma and corruption, money near Juma. You didn't create my and not true, so and right, they fight the corruption. You might make it your say, if it's Amran there. And finally, so, Yenya or do Emma or mine say, you pay it, you say, a Yema or mine, no mind between the two. Corruption into more money to without corruption, they resist the corruption. The Yena, you could take or mine obey in Sabeka.
Let me say a last question. I just said, you say yes, say and can say a fight here, you better resist here. One of the ways to resist it, one of the ways to resist it is to ensure say laws governing corruption or you be man ayejuma. Na I say obi initiate corrupt actor unsuru ase ehuni ni mu. Say be a lawyer ninkra wo hi. Mene no edili. Me pese me suggest man say oh asemi una bedi wo ba me pese me di bibi kakra be hu na me nsuro sese me kasa asem na e bia lawyer ni nkra and yes I obey resist but the attempt no kwa no betimi di akopio baby I don't have that fear enti as the orgy no unsuro the ono so man so ensuro say obey initiate ade no because say usura yes yemfa ni haha ni kwa prinkin semakrum enye easy say me frɛ wana obi be frɛ Pentecost chairman anase Pentecost sofo bi ana Christo ni mapa nya Pentecost nkwampo ba but let me open it Christo ni mapa semi person ma bribe because onim say nipa we a wonu ko ka asase ma akire we no ade no emfa but I say nipa no all ba na nkasa owo conviction when mu say oka you cannot turn it down and no how do we deal with it because nipa no our conviction say so nya you brown envelope na dia you can't resist it
exactly na ni say one yin di no kwema yen and na two so emra no nya adwuma okay but you said something say obi an hono betimi akọ Church of Pentecost chairman hono say okwa corrupted because when you say we enya emfa wo ho enti no if we are able to yen unite me criticize impression and as a man for year away say me meti ho no ntumi man be corrupting me on part ade no kramba emba wani that is one and na two so emra na e dey fight corruption say to me shemukina na make sure say be ye adwuma na yamana anya adwuma de ade bia no ekoba sa say we tennis ball ekoba sa so na enye hwe you make sure say emra na dey fight corruption ya told that and be implement it amra na man ya adwuma
right lawyer Kwame Animado no mamenko lawyer Ninkra hono kan no hono kakra
this is lawyer Kwame kan na fi mesre judge ba ku bia no wo yen high court say wa retire oba be reading the judgment ano aka chiro was say me take bribe bia me so be hu me a me nje bribe bia me every time kan lawyer Kwame wo hu no commercial court
I see
oba ka chiro say me no untimi man be hu me enyo bribe na be ye mi bibi enti en try so baba be hu me en obi ama be hu me nji bibia so you see epo ho no ma for the person to be bold enough to even come to you with an envelope no the person will have a perception na what tete won sem say wait dear
okay
what the command na obeje wait dear what the man no say just stones you are obeje wait dear ejem pa ko no e di kan ye mate about you ain't na onya sa confidence no so the ain't na wo gidi ni say be you gidi ni die enke ade na eso binya akukuduro so obara culture
all right 0322195594 yeah share dia na wo betimi aye na e dia fight corruption na dia nso na esiw kwan say hu obi enso obi ya de be ya corrupt practice a untumi nka ana say untumi en report oba no abon tell pe be 30 seconds no before floor so etumi aba someone good evening nyame adom na mayanto aso a lawyer for kwana many million why lawyer need so mu asemu make sure say lawyer for mu asemu lawyer for so mu asem okay enti yanya dan okay okay may I say someone mami found sina obi fufro so ento so enti no ye nyina say lawyer for no omuntu omunfo na fin so no police for nto omunfo a teacher for nto omunfo nim say na tie we headmaster to hunfo onim say vacancy no school no ayema emfa mane moroso na niama enkon kan enti nso betumi afra 0322 akasema be yenum na yekofa news number 0322195594 0322195594 yeah fight corruption ewo Ghana dey na wo betumi aye nso wafam de ben e na wo betumi aye na dey kra na si kwanti a nso uhu so bi ya de be ye corrupt practice a untumi report. Good evening. Okay, anti-marital phone patch me into you. As a lawyer, okay. I'm so many can no anyway, on better no view. Yo, about Mary Yami Insha. Hello, good evening. Okay. Good evening. Opening patch of Budina to us, my corruption. Quite a fast I fight to a question being so. Okay, Rajan Yenko. Menso mera sepa ntino okaso we fama no ne yepentem fama no ne yenko so obi bia so ye pepepe a I mean sometimes the drive for person be challenge because wa onim say onyama anya pepepe ma onyama anya pepepe na ma ye chewa wa no etimi ayeden. Hello, good evening. Opening pacho udi ne baby free. Okay, for me some pacho me yenko. Okay.
Operation you constitution the cost. You do omu to bibia to the sense that omu uniform omu sekra no omu ado musical network. Enti say obi enti ana the responsibility enti provide those anyama na. Eno ebe because me fan say omu ba connect salary and o dey cost A40 no obi be ya dia or the service ana or the small man. Ono enko printer no sense small man. Obi per car and answer the man could go not to hear or the car at the year. As on where you see the car. And a baby says, Umbacona, after my phone on the crown, and then go practical car. Okay. So, institution is to go car. But if you are
let's say, if you know more, they get involved in corruption because of lack of resources on the management.
Because resources for the management, any women Mr. NUC, because
okay. I think say in that situation there, Sabai provided na say obit me sacrifice ya fine. But if you cannot sacrifice, I think you mean justify corruption based on that. Say money are buying the anquandia. Let the work be there and you can embark on strike. I mean, obit me sorry and no more to abide so anamo because if the resources we need to work are not there and the human intimate koswa abaya juma enti sa wobetimi do sika boa kakra that's fine but ontimi enje de ni mrama ni kwan sa woje no na wagina no so e dey provided no so dey entimi fan justify corruption but enti no aka 1 minute near the news na eba lawyer ninkra o say as lawyers so be commission mo to come and defend them do you give them a receipt and say no kwa no do the same no chia nothing that's all.
Of course, your man of fire guardian as lawyers no quite say. Only will be a year, provided service engagement to receipt for every payment.
Okay.
So that's our same senior for general legal counsel to say you are no evidence and I never bit me agent so I can say near Medjuma pepe. Yes. Who lawyer expect a receipt? I'm a private practitioner. buying lawyers in terms of say attorney general you don't pay for their services, so they are not supposed to generate any receipt for you. I think Mechia will be a Mechia Mira, Dr. Samuel Baby, Asante Mechia, Mamma, some papa, my money now, be a will say because of Mamma Bishak.
Yeah. Yami Inshapa, lawyer and Inkra, Yami Inshapa, Nana, lawyer Kwame, anybody, sorry.
Okay, say the lawyer Inkra Kayan legal aid, generate receipt because you don't pay for their services.
Okay, and I buy it your
moka. In Tomka file process amount crying and you don't pay for that. And they can't give a receipt because you don't pay for their services.
And it's all juicy can be a backdoor.
Exactly.
Into want me more receipt for that.
Want me my receipt for that exactly. Into what juicy can be an actual and it's also and a wagon.
Okay.
That's it. Into finally but private legal practitioner, they make them a private legal practitioner to buy me charge you legal fee within the scale of fees for lawyers. Remember my receipt for that as evidence. Okay, in conclusion, Mechia senior lawyer Kwame Boafo. Mechia be parents, Mr. and Mrs. Animado, and Mechia me resident pastor, Pastor JB and wife Priscilla JB of PIWC. Thank you very much.
Right, thank you very much. My time is far gone. Thank you very much for coming and then honoring the program. And